Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Obsidian Mirror, where we pause a moment to reflect using symbol systems such as the tarot as a prompt for introspection. Today I am going to do a shadow integration read. But before we do that, I invite you to take a moment with me to take a few deep breaths and check in with your body. One more time. Now, for this shadow integration read, we are going to gently explore and integrate what has been avoided and/or unseen. I highly recommend, if you feel the need at any point, to give yourself grace, to practice self-forgiveness, to pause this video and walk away. You don't even have to plan on returning at some point in the future or at all. This is your process. My hope is to facilitate, in conjunction with the tarot, thinking a little bit differently, or about different things, or in different ways. So, with the Shadow Seer Tarot, we are going to find out what the shadow theme of this reading is. At this time, you may want to drink a little bit of water or breathe intentionally. Perhaps you want to practice intentional relaxation techniques by clenching and unclenching various parts of your body. Perhaps you want to grab a snack or something comfortable to add to the experience, like a blanket or a stuffy. For the shadow theme today, we have Ace of Cups, also known in this deck as Hatred, in the upright position. Let's look at the tarot and see, excuse me, how this possibly could be manifesting at this time. Seven of Cups in the upright position. We're going to get an identity pattern from the archetype deck. I invite you to slow down if you're able to do that while you're watching this video. Maybe you are watching or listening in the same space and time as you are completing other tasks. That is understandable. I commend you for multitasking. I also wonder if bringing a sense of calm by moving a tad bit slower would go amiss, or if that might be helpful to you in some way. Sometimes a sense of urgency activates our nervous system in a way that is not so helpful, or that feels like it's coming from a place of terror. For all I know, you could be doing the dishes. For all your body knows, you could be outrunning a mountain lion. Just something to consider. The identity pattern, the vow. I am going to pull one more from the tarot to see if there is a prompt, a mirror question, so to speak. That may help us in a little bit more detailed manner in this reading. The Sun in the reverse. For the shadow theme, we have the Ace of Cups, known in the Shadow Seer Tarot as hatred, which is a very strong feeling. A very strong concept, and it can be a very strong reaction to something as well. Now, the Ace of Cups can point to a brand new start, a new idea, when it comes to something in our emotional world. Perhaps love, in whatever form that takes. Perhaps the idea that emotional fulfillment can be had in a new way. The seed of something has been attained, identified, maybe even planted. Now, what I'm wondering as if this seed is, for lack of a better way to put it, a bad seed. If something has been sparked within you that began from the very start with a sense of festering, perhaps a feeling of being wounded, something that justifies a feeling of hatred, animosity, resentment. Now, you may have seen this coming, and you may not have. This could be completely unplanned. This could be completely involuntary as well. It could feel like a natural reaction, perhaps a defense, protective, necessary. Now I wonder if a sense of natural reaction rooted in hatred is necessary at all. I wonder if there are other lessons here, other opportunities, different ways of viewing the situation. I am getting a sense of defensiveness. Now, if you relate or resonate with that idea at all of justifying, of having every right reason and excuse to be feeling this way, that is understandable. That is relatable. I invite you to explore that idea a little bit more from different angles. In terms of how this possibly could be manifesting, as shown by the Seven of Cups. We have the second water card in a row. This makes me think that right now is a very emotional time, perhaps volatile, perhaps hard to navigate. Perhaps there is a sense of being out of control. Now, in this card, we have both the sun and the moon. Although the sun is below the horizon, because it is nighttime, and so the moon features prominently. We cannot see what may be in the cups or if they are empty. The sevens typically ask us to rest, reflect, examine, to pause and consider, to look around, to examine certain beliefs or ideas that we have. So far in the reading, I'm getting a sense of emotional manipulation. I wonder if there is the possibility that your emotions are being guided, prompted, or controlled by another, or perhaps something else entirely. It may not be a person. It may be a situation. There are plenty of things in the world to bring us closer to our emotions. Be they good or bad, desirable or undesirable, fun or not fun at all. These two cards make me think of taking a step back of some kind. A step back from a situation. A step outside of our emotional world. A step away from a person. A step towards ourself. Whether that be an actual physical action that can be taken, or if this is more of a mental exercise. It seems to me that things are not as clear as they could be. That perhaps some time and some more examination may bring answers that you maybe want, maybe are surprised by, more information, tools to help you through whatever it is that you're going through right now, clarity of some kind. The identity pattern card we have is the vow. Now, there is a certain connotation to that idea. Vows are often made with pure intentions. Now, when I say pure, I do not mean innocent. What I mean is the density of feeling. We can make vows according to a religious or spiritual inclination that we have in the moment. We can make vows to ourselves, to our family, to our friends. We can make vows to uphold certain ideals and values. We can also make destructive vows, vows made in anger. I think that so far in this reading, there may be an impetus. The cards are asking to look at what vows or promises you have made lately, the place that those vows originated from. Were those vows or promises made intentionally and with forethought? Or were they made from a place of pure emotion, activated, extreme emotion? Were they made in reaction to something or someone that offended us? Are these vows something that you made off the cuff, or something that you hold dear and that you want to uphold once, for the next year, for the rest of your life? Is there a time frame involved at all? And who, if any, are involved in these vows? Consider them. Consider how they may have received these promises. If there is a contract involved of some kind, and I'm not talking about a legal contract, I'm talking about an energetic contract. Have expectations been made, digested? Is someone depending on you? Are you depending on you? Do you want anything about these promises to change? How might that be attainable? And how that might affect your life, their life, or perhaps no one at all. The mirror question, represented by the sun in reverse, may not look good at first glance. The sun is a mighty card, a card of expression and bursting forth, of vitality, longevity, sharing. In the reverse, some readers would interpret this card as its opposite energy. If I were to do that, I would ask where these qualities that I mentioned may not be experienced in your life right now. Where do you want more vitality? Where do you want more creative self-expression? Is there a sense of contentment that you lack right now or seem to be chasing? Do you have a sense of being not at peace? Now I'm going to read this card as neutral. It could go either way. I think that given the general theme of potential discord in this reading so far, I wonder if there is someone or something is farming your peace before you get to harvest it. Another way to say that would be, is there something in your life that is taking your peace from you? And how might you be able to get it back? Now, if there is something in your life that is causing you to have heightened emotional reactions, that could be one peace robber that you have in your life. It could be a situation, it could be a person. It could be something within yourself that is going so far unaddressed. Perhaps you feel like you have little emotional control. Is there a way that you can rectify the situation, to mitigate this situation? Is there a coping skill that you can learn? A healing modality that you have been thinking about and just haven't quite taken the opportunity yet? Perhaps this sense of perhaps disappointment, maybe failure, and I'm thinking in terms of the vow. Is something that is not set in stone. I think that the cards are speaking about an opportunity to get more sunshine in your life. Maybe examining the seeds of discontent that have been shown in this reading. Perhaps the feeling of hatred itself is trying to tell you something deeper. Is there a possibility of excavating below the seed of hatred to examine if there is something more that could be gleaned from the experience? I'm wondering if all of these cups you have can actually hold water, or if they are already filled to the brim with something else. Sand, rocks, chocolate, what have you. Is there something that you would like to empty out of your emotional wellspring to make room for something new, something different? And in terms of the promises that you have made, perhaps some of them are outdated. Perhaps some of them are flimsy, and it is okay to let them go. Perhaps some of them carry you through the day. They are load-bearing, they are important, and they are very, very hard to take a closer look at. I invite you to take a deep breath and check in with your body in whatever way suits you right now. I think that at this time it is worth mulling over the possibility that things are not as they seem, and that perhaps a new perspective or a different perspective is possible. I also want to bring up the idea that persecution, may be an important theme here. If someone is experiencing some sort of conflict in their life and they are feeling persecuted, that is one way that we can feel protective of ourselves and that our emotional expression can be used against us. It makes me think of how sometimes women get mistreated or mishandled, targeted, hurt. And when they display a perfectly normal reaction in response to that hurt, they are gaslit and they are told that they are being emotional, that they are overreacting. This is called reactionary abuse, I believe the term is. Your reaction justifies further abuse and manipulation. I really hope that this is not happening to you. You may see it in your life. You may see someone going through it. You may see it as a normalized aspect of an unhealthy culture. I am not sure how this may be manifesting in your life. What I think the ultimate reflection this card is trying to show us is how our emotions and our promises can be used against us, sometimes in conjunction with each other. I think it is possible to learn more, develop different techniques for handling the situation or dynamic as you see it or experience it, so that you can feel contentment, so that you feel more free to express yourself, to trust yourself, to get to know a different audience, one that won't twist you up somehow. Oh. This is a heavy one. I invite you now to take a deep breath, maybe more, to check in with your body, to look at these cards for a little bit longer and see if anything else stands out to you, or if anything comes to mind. Please be gentle with yourself in this process. Answers may not come immediately. They may not come at all. Or perhaps they come so subtly that you don't notice them happening until later, and that's okay. I think I am going to end the message here. I hope that you are able to get your needs met in whatever way is available to you right now. Perhaps it's taking a nap, checking another thing off of your chore list, doing some sort of exercise, be that physical, mental, or emotional, learning something new, watching something that is not serious at all, just for a good laugh. I hope that you can find a way to tend to yourself today. If anything in this reading feels useful to you, feel free to pick it up and put it down as you see fit. Ignore whatever does not resonate with you. If you feel like liking or commenting on this video, I hope that any interactions will help me get a better sense for the collective energy so that I can deliver more useful little tidbits to whoever needs it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like what I have to offer. In any case, I appreciate the time that you have taken with me today on the Obsidian Mirror.